Hello, witchlings. It's been a whole whopping 45 minutes. It's one of those days, right? We're all good. So, I have scarfed down a quick lunch. Today we are drinking juice with our lunch out of Snoopy. I am a huge Snoopy fan. So, my neck is unhappy from, sitting here at the computer and staring at the screen, but we'll survive. Mm. Just a heads up. Today's podcast may be abruptly ended because my darling munchkin has requested that I be their person that they can call while they are driving home. So I agreed. I have no idea how long their appointment is going to be, but just giving everyone a heads up. So, today we shall be discussing, to be honest, not the fact that I just, smacked my hand into my desk, the program that actually led my ass to teaching yoga. It is called mindfulness-based stress reduction. I'm going to turn that down just a smidge. Oop, that wasn't what I wanted. Whatever. MBSR. Well, let's scroll. I am reading to you from an article off of Yoga Journal's website. Yoga Journal is one of my favorite websites and magazines. MBSR is a mind-body program anchored in Buddhist tradition. It combines mindfulness meditation and yoga to treat a number of conditions: stress, anxiety, depression, chronic pain, etc. It was founded in 79 by John Kabat-Zinn. So wow, it's almost as old as I am. I was born in 78. MBSR is currently offered at more than 250 hospitals across the US and at hundreds of clinics around the world, according to Psychology Today. I myself was invited to participate in the MBSR program at the Seattle VA about, oh gosh, I keep rounding everything to 15 years ago because I have been in my current relationship for 12, and it's just easier to say about 15 years ago. It's a good guesstimation because it happened prior to my relationship with my current husband. I'm not sure exactly when, but it was round about that time frame. So, as we all know, chronic pain and depression, common comorbidities, and they present an elevated risk for wanting to off yourself. I have to watch how I say things because the zucchini overlords at Meta don't like certain words, and they will flag me if I use them. So, chronic pain affects the more than 100 million adults in the US and has been a significant contributor to the opioid epidemic. In 2012, treatment for chronic pain cost the US upwards of $635 billion with a B. New research shows that mindfulness practices can reduce both chronic pain and depression, making it a viable complement to clinical treatment and a possible alternative prescription pain medication. Which I have known this for a while because that was part of why I was put into the MBSR program. The Journal of the American Osteopathic Association evaluated an 8-week MBSR course on 28 adults in rural Oregon and discovered this. Big shock. Okay, the lead author of the new study says many people have lost hope because in most cases their chronic pain will never fully resolve. Fibromyalgia. Mindful yoga and meditation can help improve the structure and function of the body, which supports the process of healing. Knew that. The difference here: curing is about eliminating the disease. Healing is the more of a process of becoming whole and radical acceptance. With chronic pain, healing involves learning to live with a level of pain that is manageable. And for this, yoga and meditation can be useful, which is true. Okay. More stats on, the exact details of numbers, chronic pain, and unaliving. While this new research isn't the first to study the effects of MBSR on chronic pain, its focus was to ascertain whether the program could effectively reduce the comorbidities of the pain and depression. And this comorbidity has led to an alarming rise in those rates, particularly among veterans. We are 1.5 times higher than the general population to off ourselves because we experience depression and PTSD in conjunction with that chronic pain. A 2014 study says that around half of patients who seek treatment for chronic pain experience major depression. Big surprise. Living in constant chronic pain is really fucking depressing because it interferes with literally every aspect of your life. A 2012 study shows a direct link between chronic pain, depression, and suicidal ideation, with opioid overdose being a leading risk factor. I skimmed through this and didn't read the details. A 2017 review examined prior research on yoga and meditation in the military, noting rates of chronic pain in the military are alarmingly high. Big shock. ranging from 25 to 82% among active duty and veteran populations. Is anybody surprised by this? The military is not exactly, a sit on your ass and do nothing job. It's a very physically demanding job. Even a sit on your ass and do nothing job in the military is still a physically demanding job. We still have to maintain our physical readiness standards. I mean, PRTs are a thing, physical readiness test. You still have to do the push-ups, sit-ups, and run the mile. You still have to stand watch, which means, okay, for me in the Navy, we had to stand fire watches. We still had to do our normal job 24/7. So we had to stand duty at whatever hour of the day we were told we were going to be there. So it's still a very physically demanding job. And even if you're doing like I was what we called, oh God, I went in as a radioman, which shortly after I was discharged, we became ITs, information system technician, which is exactly what it is in the civilian world. I tinkered with computers. The report cited a number of yoga intervention studies that saw a decrease in symptoms of depression among retired and active duty service members. The National Institute of Mental Health states that unaliving is a leading cause of death in the U.S., and the CDC flags mental health disorders like depression as well as physical pain as major risk factors. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a rather large impact on mental health and suicidal ideation. By late June, did it give a year? No, it did not. So I'm assuming last year, 40% of adults were struggling with substance abuse and mental health issues, with 31% of those experiencing anxiety or depression. Compared to similar data from 18, the CDC found that more than twice as many respondents had considered unaliving within the past month at the time of the survey. 10.7% in 2020 versus 4.3 in 18. So, while yoga and meditation have been scientifically proven to reduce symptoms of depression and help treat chronic pain, they are not a substitute for medical treatment, at least not without the advice of your doctor or a licensed mental health professional. Do not do this without consulting your medical professionals first. Now, having read that, those are the details on MBSR. As I said, I have done MBSR. Shapes. Let me bring up Amazon because I want to tell you his book, Full Catastrophe Living. Never mind, I didn't have to bring it up. Good job, Di. So, I went through MBSR. The two things that you get when you do the program, or at least that I did, you get the book, Full Catastrophe Living by John Kabat-Zinn, and the CDs that go with it. Oh my God, do they still give the CDs, or is it digital these days? That's a good question. And I am not exaggerating when I say MBSR probably saved my life. My stress levels at the time I went through it were unreal. I was living in a very untenable situation. My ex-husband and I and the kids were living with my parents, and my incubator was abusive. There's no other way to put it. She was regularly threatening to call CPS to have my children taken away from me. if I didn't behave the way she wanted me to. Um, she was constantly telling me that he and I were incapable of handling the kids without her and my dad around. Just um, I I was not capable of holding a job, all of this. And my depression was at an all-time high. Yep. Ideation was there on a regular, all of it. And I was invited by the VA to participate in this program. And I did. I was hesitant because, well, it meant I had to be at the VA hospital ungodly early in the morning, which I have never been a morning person, but I did it. And um I I have never regretted it. Um the only issue I had with it, and I wish I could get the friend I made in that group, in that class, to back me up on this. I wish he were here right now. I was literally no, yeah, I think I was literally the only woman in that particular group. Um, I would say something to participate in the class, and the male facilitator would poo poo, blow it off, yeah, whatever, or argue with me, say I was wrong. So, this guy that I was becoming friends with, I'm now pretty good friends with, would just my non-biological is messaging at the moment too. Pardon my facial expressions. So this guy that I was becoming friends with would wait a minute or two and then say exactly what I had just said, usually in the exact same words, and get praised for it. Yeah, pissed us both off. So yeah, that was my only sole complaint about the entire program. I fully intend to take it again. I tried to take it a second time, but scheduling didn't work out. We'll do it again. Um, Part of the MBSR is where I first learned mindfulness. Our very first mindfulness practice was the first day of class, and we were given a raisin. I'm not a raisin fan, but we were given a raisin, and it was we were told to take it in our hand, and our first exercise was to observe and just mindfully observe with a beginner's mind. A beginner's mind is, or a childlike mind, either way. They're kind of interchangeable. And basically, what you are doing is you are to look at this thing, whatever it is you're looking at, as if you are seeing it for the very first time. And then, after the observation, we ate the raisin. And we were to mindfully eat. And this was the first time I had ever mindfully eaten. And mindfully eating is when you take a bite and you pay full attention to the flavors, the texture, temperature, all of that. You just fully immerse yourself in what you're doing. That is mindfulness in a nutshell. To be fully immersed in the present moment and what you are doing. And that, for a person with ADHD or PTSD, CPTSD like me, was mind blowing because my focus, even now, years later, trying to practice mindfulness on a regular, ow, is almost never on exactly what I'm doing at any given moment. For me to focus on what I'm doing when I'm doing it still requires effort. So, for those of you starting out and just starting mindfulness, don't feel bad if it takes effort. So, we started out with the mindfulness, and then we moved on to some meditation practices. And the meditations were what started helping with the chronic pain, focusing on the breath and the breathing and being able to breathe into and through the pain. Lamaze breathing is kind of a meditative breathing, and it really does work. I don't remember why, but I know oxygen is a natural pain reliever. And then we were introduced to some very basic, simple yoga. And prior to this, I had attempted yoga once when I was pregnant with, I think, my middle child. I had picked up a do it at home DVD, prenatal yoga, and it was a spectacular failure. So I had never tried it again. I had wanted to, but had always decided, I wanted to try it with an instructor, do it in the studio because I didn't want to chance, you know, doing it wrong and maybe hurting myself. I've always been paranoid of that. So this was my opportunity. Hey, we did some basic stuff and I loved the way it felt. My body loved it. It yeah. And so it was cool. I liked it. It felt good. It released the stress. It relieved the tension and all of that. And then I found out that the VA had a women's only yoga class. And the rest is history. That's how I came to be here. Um, but MBSR was just, oh my God, it was a miracle. Through the mindfulness portion, I my vehicle for some reason during that time was not happy. I don't remember what was going on. But I was driving my mother's van. And on my way literally to MBSR class, I nearly got sideswiped on the freeway. Now, normally, this would have had me in utter and complete panic mode for hours. The entire rest of the trip, at the very least, I still would have been shaking when I hit the VA 45 minutes later, and still would have been ruminating and freaking out about it when I got home at the end of the day. I didn't that day. The mindfulness practices that we had been doing, my breathing exercises that we had been doing, all of it, I was able to just go, okay, they didn't hit me. The van is okay. I'm okay. I'm not going to be late for my appointment. No harm, no foul. We're good. I stayed calm. I was shocked. I really was. So, um, this is part of why I say it was literally life changing. I am looking up some more information on it. Mhm. I want more information on John Kabat-Zinn, and where it came from. Here we go. Wikipedia is not horrible. Okay. University of Massachusetts. Full Catastrophe Living was released in 1990. Okay. The MBSR program is an 8-week workshop. It is a once a week, 2.5 hour class, and a 1 day, 7 hour practice. The 1 day, oh God, it was a Saturday. It usually is on a Saturday, and it is a silent retreat. For those of you who know me, you are going to be amazed at the fact that I survived this. I made it through the entire 7 hour day, except for the lunchtime when we were allowed to talk. Absolutely silent. I managed to go an entire day without talking. I am shocked myself. um, and there are 45 minutes of homework a day. That's where the CDs came in. That's where I learned my body scans. Ooh, I'm so glad I'm doing this because my memory is kicking. I'm looking and kicking in. A body scan meditation. Normally, I have to think. I want to say most of the time with the body scans, I started with my feet, but other people typically, you start at the top of your head, and you just focus at the on the crown of your head, and then just mentally just scan down and just feel. Do you have tension or pain? I'm feeling some tension here. Oh, right here. And just, you scan your body, see where you've got the tension and some pain. And as you feel it, you just kind of focus on it. Okay, acknowledge that it's there. Don't necessarily worry about changing it or doing anything about it. You're just acknowledging it and moving on. And if, as you're doing this, you discover there's a part of your body that you just can't see or feel, that's okay too. You just keep going. um, the experience of the meditation practice and its application to life is the central part of the program. Body scanning, as I just said, is the first prolonged formal mindfulness technique. Oh, I was right. You do start with the toes and move up. Hey, my memory was accurate for once. MBSR is based on non-judging, which is kind of self-explanatory. Non-striving. You're not striving to change or do anything. Acceptance. You are accepting things as they are. You are not trying to change anything. Again, letting go. You are just letting things be. A beginner's mind, as I said, you are coming to it like you have never seen it before. Patience. Patience is a virtue. Trust and non centering. You are accepting that while you are the main character in your own story, you are not the main character in the story of everyone around you. Let's see. Focus on informal practices as well as by incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine. Focusing on the present is thought to heighten sensitivity to the environment and your own reactions to it, therefore, enhancing self management and coping. Mindfulness is also a central theme in dialectical behavior therapy, which is another treatment option for people who have lived through severe trauma. I'm doing DBT as well. It also provides an outlet from ruminating on the past and worrying about the future, therefore breaking the cycle of these maladaptive cognitive processes. So, MBSR it really is an amazing thing. Trauma sucks. I will say that straight up. I have lived through enough trauma for like 6 people in my life. Oh, and I will bless whoever at the VA decided to invite me to that program because it has so very much changed my life. I will be posting, actually, while I'm thinking about it, I will do it. I will be grabbing a link to Full Catastrophe Living and popping it on my socials for you if you're interested. God, I cannot praise mindfulness-based stress reduction enough. Um, I wouldn't be here without it. Yeah? Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Um, how do I? Oh, and the preface to Full Catastrophe Living. I had forgotten about that. Is by Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh, how do I describe him? He passed away just recently. Um, he was one of the more well-known Buddhist monks. He is incredibly well known in the mindfulness world. Brain is not braining well right now. um, oh gosh, yeah, he is the author of numerous books on mindfulness and Buddhism and so many other things. He was apparently a very wonderful man. Um, yep, my brain just decided to puke on me, so it's been one of those days. Yep, I just completely lost that train of thought. Shapes. So, full catastrophe living, mindfulness based stress reduction. Please, if you have the opportunity to participate, check and see if your insurance will cover it. It is offered, as I said, at a number of hospitals. I know University of Washington has an MBSR clinic. Like I said, my VA did it. Um, a lot of mental health clinics will offer it. If you have the opportunity to do it, go for it. Um, it is well worth it. John Kabat-Zinn has many other books that, if memory serves, are very much well worth looking into. Um, is that a John Kabat-Zinn book? Let me look. I think it is. It sounds very familiar. He's a really good author, and mindfulness is his thing, which is truly cool. Here we go. Um, After I did MBSR, I started looking into him more, and was very much, I need to grab that link too. Thank you for reminding me to look more. Mhm. Oh, Thich Nhat Hanh. Yes. I have one of his books on, oh gosh, on love, I believe. I will have to look to grab, or not grab, to figure out which one it is. Um, Warren's and my therapist, lovely lady, strongly suggested that we grab it, that I grab it, because I was told to grab it around the same time as I got my ping self-compassion stuff. Um, because yeah, Di is not very self-compassionate. Di is very, very hard on herself. I'm a bitch. Well, I am very, very bad to myself, and it's not good. I want to say that would make sense. Da-da-da-da. I'm trying to find the book that I picked up. Nope. Because of course I've lost it. I'm having one of those days. Can you tell? We can tell, Di. And it doesn't also doesn't help that, we have been seeing our therapist for the better part of a decade. So I have no idea when, she would have. I just vaguely know that it was before I started yoga teacher training. That's all. And that doesn't help much. Oh. Oh, that would be the munchkin. Nope. That would be the VA. I will call them back later. Why are you not cooperating? Jab. Jab, jab. Seriously? My tablet hates me today. Wait. I could always use my phone. since, tablet's not cooperating. I get, stuck on one thing at a time and hyperfocus. Oh, hey, there we go. Whoop, damn it. True love, a practice for awakening the heart. That's what I have. And I ordered it in February of 21. Oh my God. Oh, that is fucking hilarious. I just want you to look at the date that I ordered that book. And I'm discussing it today. That I do not believe in coincidences. There is a reason I chose to discuss MBSR and Thich Nhat Hanh today. So, funk. I don't normally have the sounds on my phone, so I'm just, making noise back at it today. So, all in all, I am amused. Today is a good day. MBSR, I'm going to sing its praises until the day I die, which hopefully is not for many, many, many years. White cranberry peach, by the way. Yoga. I wish I could remember. Oh, I wish I could remember what yoga we did in it. But, 'tis not to be today. Did I post the book? No, I did not. Darn. Dork. That's okay. This is me. Being me. But I am posting the Full Catastrophe Living and the CDs that went along with it to Di the Witchy Yoga Instructors page on Facebook. Yep. Because the CDs are equally important because they are the guided meditations that go along with the program. So, semi-short pod today because I am trying to not be completely loopy and because I am very tired now. Still recovering from COVID. And I busted ass last night. I cleaned. I cleaned hard. I'm proud of myself. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. We have daily draw at 1, meditation tomorrow night. And that is all for today. I hope you guys will look up MBSR and take advantage of it. And I will see you fantabulous, wonderful people tomorrow. I love you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. And as Will Wheaton says, don't be a dick. See you around.